Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is your latest transfer news. We have a done deal. Aaron Ramsdale is on his way to Southampton. We'll be covering that. Kingsley Coman is back on the news. As I told you guys earlier today, all those players that have been linked to Arsenal, expect a lot of news on them between now and Friday. I feel like we're going to sign a big forward, but I just don't know who. But all those links are still going on. The replacement for Aaron Ramsdale is on his way, obviously, Juan Garcia. We'll be discussing that, as well as the potential for a striker. What are Arsenal planning in terms of a striker? But let's start with Aaron Ramsdale. This came out today. Obviously not today, like a couple of hours ago yesterday. Fabrizio Romano said Aaron Ramsdale to Southampton. Here we go. Deal in place after official bid revealed earlier today. Fee will be 25 million. Add-ons included. Agreed with Arsenal. Arsenal are now prepared to go for Juan Garcia from Espanyol in the next 24 hours. So that was from Fabrizio Romano. Actually, the first person to report about this particular deal was Sky Sports. It was Lyle from Sky Sports. He said Southampton agree with Arsenal permanent transfer of Aaron Ramsdale, 18 million, potentially rising to 25 million. So shout out to Sky Sports. They were the first in terms of that news. And then David Austin also had this to say: Southampton reached agreement with Arsenal for permanent transfer of Aaron Ramsdale, 25 million, including add-ons for 26-year-old goalkeeper. Next step, medical before completing Saints switch. Arsenal to push ahead on Juan Garcia move. And then finally, there was this as well from Sam C. Aaron Ramsdale will travel to undergo a medical and sign his contract tomorrow. Arsenal have a sell-on clause inserted in the deal. So is it a good deal? Is it not a good deal? So first up, Ramsdale is leaving Arsenal. So you've gotten the here we go confirmation from Fabrizio, from Sky Sports, and also from David Anston. So he's definitely leaving Arsenal. As expected, actually, for Aaron Ramsdale, I thought he was actually going to leave Arsenal like right at the transfer window opened. I thought, because April, May, there were links to Newcastle. There was links to a couple of other clubs. And I thought, listen, after the season ends, he's definitely going to be on his way out. But it has actually taken a bit of time. Like we actually at the end of the transfer window, that's when he's actually been sold. Now, those teams never actually came in for him, which is a surprise. I didn't expect the promoted teams to spend a lot of money on a goalkeeper. I thought if he was going to leave Arsenal, it was going to be like to a Newcastle, to maybe a West Ham to replace a Riolin Fabianski there, maybe to a Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. I thought Ramsdale would end up at those kind of teams, like just mid-table teams, because obviously the big teams wouldn't really go for him. There's Alisson, Ederson, all those teams have goalkeepers, and I always imagine the teams that are coming up and the teams at the bottom wouldn't really afford to pay that money for the goalkeeper, how much we wanted. Personally, I wanted us to get like 30 million for Aaron Ramsdale because I feel like he's a still very good goalkeeper. The only reason he's not playing for us is not because he's not a good goalkeeper. It's because of our playing style. We've evolved in our playing style in the way we play out from the back. Rai just better than him in terms of doing that. But in terms of shot stopping, Aaron Ramsdale is still a very, very good goalkeeper for me. He would like do the job for you. Even like if he had a chance to save the ball, he would do the job for you. So I always expected him to like move on to a different club, but it has taken a long, long time. And eventually we haven't been able to get the 30 million. Now, the last couple of weeks, it has looked a bit complicated. Will he go? Will he stay? Which teams are going to pay the money for him? Teams want him on loan. Doesn't really benefit us to, let him go on loan. Either keep him or sell him. At the beginning of the transfer window, I actually wanted us to keep Ramsdale. If everything was good, like, listen, promise him we're going to play the cup games. Let's keep our defenders, let's keep our goalkeepers, and let's focus on getting our forward players and midfielders. That is what I wanted. But I always knew that Ramsdale wants fast team football. He was not going to stay. I know most of you want Ramsdale to stay, or some of you want Ramsdale to stay, or some of you asking why are we selling Ramsdale. He wants to go and be fast choice goalkeeper. He wouldn't want to waste another season on the bench. Promise him cup games. How many cup games do we have? At the time of recording this video, by the Carabao Cup draw is going to be on in the next 15 minutes. So listen, the last couple of seasons we've been out in the first round, second round. So is he going to play only one game, 2 games? He's not going to be rotating the Premier League. Rai is going to play all 38 games unless there's a red card or an injury or something. Rai is going to play every single game. So he wasn't really going to feature. And in terms of years, the last couple of years, he's already like been on the bench for a full year. He hasn't played for England. He hasn't played for Arsenal. Maybe 3 games a full year. That's too little. And the Euros is coming up again, or the World Cup is coming up. The Euros is coming up. There's a chance for him to overtake Pickford. He was this close to overtaking Pickford. Those 2 seasons he had at Arsenal, he was incredible. He was so close to overtaking Pickford. So he still has a chance there. So he couldn't waste another season on the bench. He has to move. And then also the drama and everything going on last season in Ramsdale. Raya will be playing. Did that make a mistake? Now, Raya is already a first choice goalkeeper. Last season in Ramsdale was our first choice goalkeeper. I really love Ramsdale. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a fast choice goalkeeper. Raya is going to come in as a backup, but it never worked out like that. Raya stand out great for us, and Ramsdale is having to move on. And obviously, we'll wish him all the best for sure. Like him, Nketiah, Smith, I want them to go and smash it at those teams, Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Southampton. We are going to be watching them regularly in the league, so hopefully they go and do a good job at those teams. For is Southampton a good move for him? We'll talk about the man. Is Southampton a good move for him? It's a tough one, man. There's a chance they could really get relegated. Obviously, I predicted Southampton to get relegated, so many of you predicted Southampton to get relegated. Is that a good move for him? I don't know. I would have preferred him to go to, the 9th, 10th, 11th place team there, maybe even higher, a team fighting for Europa League or something. But those teams never really came in for him. So the teams that we've had a link to him are Bournemouth, Wolves, and Southampton, so he had to go to one of those teams, and Wolves pulled out of the deal, and we haven't really heard about Bournemouth recently as well. So he had to basically go to Southampton or stay at Arsenal, or stay until January, wait for something to happen. That was also an option, but he's deciding to move to Southampton. I think the difference between playing for Southampton and Arsenal, the playing style, as I said, in terms of us playing out from the back, that is something. But also on top of that, at Arsenal, there's games where David Raya will have only one shot to save. Ramsdale would only have one shot to save. But at Southampton, he'll have a lot of shots to save, and that is his playing style. He likes to make saves. That is his strong point, making saves, one-on-ones, long distances, and all that. He likes to save the ball, doesn't really like playing out from the back and all that. So he will be tested at Southampton, and we will get to see the best of Ramsdale at Southampton. He's not really going to be asked to play out from the back over there. So although I don't know Southampton's playing style really, but I think they kind of like to play football, but yeah, it's going to be required a bit. I think Southampton actually do play out from the back a couple of times, but it's not as much as Arsenal, as you know what I mean. So he's going to be tested more there. So in terms of that, it's a good move. But the fact that they could get relegated and all that, it is a concern as well. And if they get relegated, we might not get the add-ons that we've been told. So we have included add-ons. You're going to get 18 million right now, and then the rest of it you're going to get in add-ons if they stay in the Premier League Southampton. If they get relegated, we have a sell-on clause there. So if they do sell him, which I expect them to, if they get relegated, I do think you'd want to move to a Premier League team, especially if it does well for them. He would want to move back to a Premier League team. So he could be moving to Southampton for one season and then move again. But if they sell him, we will be getting some money from that as well. So I guess it works out perfectly for us. All the best to Aaron Ramsdale at Southampton. Let's see how it goes. The medical will be tomorrow. That is now 4 players who've left Arsenal this week. Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, Aaron Ramsdale, 3, but Smith Rowe left Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, so 4. So if you put Smith Rowe, Nketiah 25 million plus 5 million, a total of 30 million. Smith Rowe got 27 plus 7, a total of 34. That is 64 million pounds. And then if you add the Aaron Ramsdale one as well, for 25 million pounds, as that drops down, that's around 89 million pounds. I think that is great. And there's a couple of other players who've moved on, like Biereth, we've sold him for a couple of million pounds. So we are going to total up to 100 million in sales, which is great. We never really sell that many players. So that's it. Who will be his replacement? Now, we have been linked to Juan Garcia, obviously, as Fabrizio has confirmed this particular player will be replacing Ramsdale. He's already agreed personal terms a long time ago, and he's pretty much been waiting. He's been waiting for Arsenal to finalize the deal with Ramsdale so that he joins Arsenal. So Juan Garcia will be joining us very soon. So between now and Friday, Ramsdale will be signing for Southampton and Juan Garcia will be signing for us. But he will be a second choice goalkeeper, but you still do need a third choice goalkeeper because Karl Hein also left. So there will be at least 3 goalkeeper deals, and this will be probably a third choice goalkeeper. Arsenal are exploring a deal to sign Wigan Athletic goalkeeper Sam Tickle, who's 22. The club have been seeking a goalkeeper with homegrown status. to join the first team with Tickle, along with Wolves Dan Bentley, now under consideration. So I don't know if you're still going to go for Dan Bentley, but Sam Tickle is another one who's been linked. I don't know much about him, to be honest, but let's see how that one goes as well. So we could see 3 goalkeeper deals this coming day. So that is Sam Tickle. Let's see how it goes. Now let's move to the forward players. We have been linked to Kingsley Coman before. Remember a couple of weeks ago, he talked about his injuries and all that. Is he going to be the player we get maybe even on loan from Bayern Munich? I wouldn't be surprised if we get one of those players on loan and then maybe sign a strike or something. I'd not be surprised if we get a wing on loan. Now, Sky Sports have reported this today. Sky Sports said an unnamed Premier League club have explored the conditions of a deal for Kingsley Coman. Now, how many teams could realistically go for Kingsley Coman? I don't think Chelsea will go for him. They have too many wingers. I don't think Liverpool will go for him. They already have Diaz and Salah and those guys, several wingers actually. Man City could be, you never know. Man City could want him. Who else? Tottenham maybe could want him, but Arsenal have had us being linked to him before, so this is a possibility to get him on loan. Maybe this is one that we need to keep an eye on. But we already talked about his injuries. He's picked up a lot of injuries over the last 3-4 years. So is he really going to be the answer for us? I don't know. So that one is one again to keep an eye on. But Kingsley Coman, would you guys want him at Arsenal? How much would you pay for him? Would you just want him on loan? Let me know in the comment section. So we are definitely looking for a wing, as we were told by Fabrizio earlier. Yesterday, Fabrizio did say that Arsenal, there's a very good chance that Arsenal will be moving for a winger. So the names that have been mentioned before, Kingsley Coman, Nico Williams, Adingra, players like that, Bakayoko as well from PSV. But let's see how it goes. Then striker situation. Will we be getting a striker? Now, this was said back in June. Ghana Blog said this. After Arsenal's elimination against Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals, the feeling among the hierarchy was that the team lacked a certain X factor in attack, something special to unlock defenses on the biggest occasion. Now, this was said back in June, so surely they knew that they were going to get an attacker over the transfer window. Now, there's 2 ways that could go. Either one, they already have an attacker in mind and people are just panicking for no reason. They already worked on this attacker maybe that we've not heard about, or maybe an attacker that you've heard about, you've been linked to, and they're just finalizing it, and you're going to have a blockbuster deal on the final year, because they say that is the X factor that we were missing against Bayern Munich. We only lost that game by 3-2 on aggregate. Or number 2, yes, they needed a striker. They thought you were going to get a striker, but that striker never really became available. Players like Sesko, ended up signing new contracts at Leipzig, and players that we thought were going to be available never became available. That could be an option. That could be a possibility as well. But the fact that we've sold Nketiah and Jesus is injured and Smith Rowe's left and Vieira's left, surely you're going to get a forward player. We don't have enough players. Like, I've been looking at the squad we could play against Brighton. Yes, starting lineup is great, but if you look at the bench, you don't really have too many options. All of a sudden, if you look at the bench, you have Nwaneri, Nelson, who I want to get chances this season, yes. But, game changes. As someone commented on one of the videos saying game changes. How many game changes do we have? Trossard is definitely a game changer, but how many others do we have? That is the question. So you need some more game changes for sure on the bench and all that. So you still need a forward signing for sure. I think you're definitely going to get a forward signing. Everything is pointing out to get a forward signing. So as I told you guys, we are going to make many transfers this week. Outgoings are already happening. I think incomes are going to come in. We're going to get at least 3 more signings, including 2 goalkeepers and maybe definitely a forward player, I'm going to say. But who, I don't know if it's going to be a winger or a striker. Let us wait and see. So that's the latest. Things are heating up for sure. Things are happening. Ramsdale on his way to Southampton. Vieira already signed for FC Porto. Nketiah doing the second part of his medical at Crystal Palace. I think that is it. I don't think anyone else will leave Arsenal. Kivior has already been confirmed to stay. Nelson has been confirmed to stay. I don't think anyone else will be leaving Arsenal. Partey will stay. All those players that were linked moves away. But let's see what happens in the next 2 days. 2 days to go now. The Thursday and the Friday. And then it's done. Big days for us. Let's see who we get. And then let's focus on the rest of the season. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch up with you on the next.